I know it's a long time since I've done a video, but I kind of moved from Cleveland to Seattle, so I had to tear down all my tanks and try to take them across the country. Tried to get some of the fish to survive, but it didn't really work out too well. I had too cold of a night in Montana, and either that or the stress ended up killing all my fish. But with that sadness over, it kind of works out because then I can try new ideas with my fish tanks, which I've kind of started here with the 60-gallon. As you can see, it's planted. It's fully dirted as well. I put a very small layer of dirt from messing with my 10-gallon just to make it a little bit easier. I have two platinum blue angels in here. Probably just blue angels, but it was labeled platinum blue, so show those guys. I had this idea to do a planted tank, like we all do, but I also really like blood parrots and cichlids in general, but most cichlids tear up plants like Wigglygia and the crypts here and such like that, and especially this one in the back here, which I forget the name of it, but it'd be really easy for a cichlid to tear up. Blood parrots, on the other hand, have kind of a harder time tearing up your plants, since they don't have closing mouths. So in this tank, they're taken care of pretty well. Their biggest competitors for food are the angels, but if I put in floating pellets that the angels can't fit in their mouth, the blood parrots do very well and eat them, and they don't really have that much of a competition for food. I also have a whole bunch of Julie Cory cats. I believe that's how you call them. If it's not, I'm sorry, I apologize. There's one of them just hanging out. Oh, actually two. I have basically 9 in here. I rounded up before, but I had a few problems with my 2 biggest tanks. Just after you have your tanks running for a while and then you totally tear them down and totally reset them up, you kind of forget things like starting off you need to do smaller water changes. You can't do big 50% ones. One, because it takes out almost all your helpful bacteria, and that was a problem for me. I almost actually killed the blood parrots. It would have been very, very bad. But anyways, still, I'm gonna walk back to this one. Anyways, just being new, well, not new to the hobby, but only 2 years in or so, like that, you start to forget a few things after you've had tanks running for a while. You forget the little things. So here, I'll go with this one first. This is my old 29-gallon. I was doing African cichlids in it. Right now it's kind of a holding tank. One, for this biker species, which I forget what species, but it is awesome. They have some really great fish stores here in the Seattle area. It's just amazing. And then I have this Mayan cichlid, or what's also known as a false red terror. I believe basically they don't get as colorful as red terrors. The marking is just a little bit different. It's close, that's why people get confused with it, but I think they stay kind of darker, like this guy is, and pretty much that then seems to be the differences. They just stay darker. The pattern's close, not the same, but they get kind of close where that's why they get kind of mistaken as true red terrors. Now, moving on to this thing. Really, I'm just keeping the duckweed and the few ram horn snails I have in here alive. I put a bunch of my swords in here, but when moving in, getting pressed for time, having a new roommate, just, yeah, it took a little while to kind of figure out where everything was going, and really it's more my fault that I killed the swords. I'll just have to start over, you know. Oh well. Like, really, I'm just trying to see if some of these will come back to life, but probably not gonna happen. Swords are not quite that hardy, but duckweed's still pretty good. Got a good amount in there, so I don't have to go steal any from a swamp. But 120 gallons doing pretty good. How about I zoom out? Get about the whole thing in the shot. Yeah, that's about all of it. In the middle is just a octopus bubbler ornament. It's really pretty cool. It actually scares people when they look at it. I saw it in a store in one of their fish tanks, and I turn around and see that they actually have them on the shelf for sale. And I just had to get one just because, well, it's pretty cool. Anyways, this is getting closer here. I forget the name of these catfish. I gotta get some of this tape that's on the glass off still. The stickiness from it. I got a fire mouth there. This catfish, I forget what exactly they're called. It's like, I think their common name is something like glass or grass cutter catfish. I know PetSmart sells them. I didn't get them from PetSmart. I got them from an actual local fish store. They costed more for a smaller one, and it would have been cheaper, and I would have got a little bit bigger catfish at PetSmart, but screw it. I'm going to buy from local pet stores when I can. And this guy right here, this is my second Mayan cichlid, or false red terror. Just thought it was really cool. I got another one. It's kind of the biggest guy in the tank right now, so he's kind of running the show. But what's really awesome is I found someone who was selling true red terrors online, which is this guy, my bigger one. God damn it! Get away from the tape. Come over here. Yes, thank you. Now he's just still pretty much a baby. I think I got him in April, May, something like that. Born probably early April, late March. I actually just ordered the last one from the guy that I got this clutch out of. It took a while for him to go. And then all of a sudden there was just one left. I'm like, oh, well, I better go buy one more just to be safe. I'd kind of like to get a breeding pair and get more in this area here. Just kind of give them away to local fish stores. It'd be cool. Here's my other two red terrors, and also known as Festes. Oh, let's see here. There's firemouth in there. High Mayan cichlid. Anyways, nice tiger lotus. I'm not going to babble too much more. There's also a spotted sailfin pleco in here somewhere. Not sure exactly where he's going off to. That'll be cool. I also saw something at Petco that they had these little, I don't know if you can see that, there's a bulb in there. It's basically lily pad bulbs. Just on impulse, I grabbed them to see what they would look like in a planted tank. It's probably more for ponds, but I know there are some species of lilies that are really kind of small. So I went for that, and we'll see what they turn into. They're supposed to grow in about 30 days, so we'll see. Anyways, that's it for now.